because I wanted a fun, fast-paced, unpredictable internship where I was going to be learning new things every day, kind of learn new experiences, be challenged, and kind of be tested as I go throughout the summer, and that's what Baillie provided.
Well, I've always been looking for a sales job in particular, and I was looking at some bigger businesses and, more importantly, people that are international. And when I found Baillie, I really liked what I saw and what I researched about them with the international side and exporting and domestic part of the business. And so when I was offered the opportunity, I took it up.
Coming into the internship, I really didn't have any expectations. I was really excited, but as I left, I gained so much knowledge about business in general and different markets around the world and in the US, and just kind of different business practices that I had no clue of before.
I really had no expectations. I knew basically that it was a lumber business, and I didn't know how large it was. I knew it was international, so I knew it had to have some volume to it, but I really had no expectations for what I'd be doing.
There were so many highlights to the internship. I think probably one of my favorite parts was traveling with the traders, meeting people from all around the world, all around the United States, getting to kind of connect and relate to different people from different cultures, and it was really interesting to kind of hang out with these guys for days at a time, stay in hotels and just travel around.
Oh, I really loved the traveling aspects right from the bat. I was traveling on my own to a couple different mills, and then also with some buyers and traders, and I really enjoyed all of the traveling involved. Well, I was pretty skeptical before coming in, but I actually really enjoyed the Buffalo area, and there's almost always something going on between festivals and other things, different places to eat. And so I actually really enjoy Buffalo area.
Coming from the South, I wasn't really sure what to think of Buffalo. It gets a pretty bad rap, but after being here for so long, Buffalo is a really cool city. There's so much culture, so much diversity. I think every weekend since I've been here, there's been some kind of festival or parade or venue that I could go to on the weekends or even during the work week. Buffalo's an incredible town, and I've actually come to love it since I've been here. For my training, I spent a lot of time at the sawmills, the lumber yard, just kind of learning about the whole practice. Where lumber comes from, how it becomes, or how it goes to the end user. And then I spent a lot of time with the traders, kind of meeting with customers, driving around, buying and selling lumber to different customers in America and throughout the world.
Well, some of the things I did were traveling. That was a big part, especially early on. They sent me to different mills and yards, and I was able to see kind of the whole operation of not only what a salesman does, but the whole process of buying the logs, making it into the lumber, and selling it and exporting it. And I was able to see the entire side of the operation.
I learned that I pretty much know nothing about business. Everything that you think you know in school, you think you could go into a company and work right away, but you have no clue. So I learned, and I was very humbled by that, the fact that I don't know as much as I think that I do. And I think that's probably the same for a lot of college kids.
Well, I definitely learned a lot of things. I learned that you have to be adaptable to different situations, and that's something I definitely found. I was more adaptable than I thought I was. Be able to deal with different people, all sorts of people that you have had no prior interaction with, and so definitely a lot of finding out that you definitely have to be engaged with people and be able to adapt to different situations. Well, I learned that Baillie is a lot larger than I expected them to be. definitely a lot larger, but even in their largeness, it's very, it has a small feeling to it and very friendly and kind of like one big family, which I really loved.
The Baillie Lumber is one of the most unique companies that I've ever viewed. From the people to the entire culture of the company, it's very relationship oriented. The industry itself is very unique. And it's really cool just to see how everyone's so well connected and how, an agent from Baillie might be really good friends with one of his customers. That you don't see that in any other industry, especially with very large companies. That was the one thing that surprised me, was how just relationship oriented it is. And that kind of drives the business, and that's a really cool thing.
I would highly recommend this internship because I don't think there's another internship out there that would be able to provide you with the experience to actually see what it's like to have the job as one of these traders or salesmen at the company. But if there's also a lot that you have to be doing. You have to be able to adapt well, you have to travel and things like that. So I wouldn't recommend it to anyone who just wants to kind of have a summer internship and be done with it. But definitely anyone that's actually serious into becoming a salesman or seeing what it's like to actually be in the business, I would highly recommend it.
I would recommend this internship for other college kids because if they want to have the most fun, interesting, unique experience out of everyone that they know, then this internship is for them. You never know what you're going to be doing the next day. You're always traveling, you're always meeting new people. You're not sitting behind a desk doing some mundane thing day in and day out. Everything's different. They give you a very challenging project that you have to work for that actually provides value for the company, and that's cool to be a part of in itself. And you just get to relate to people. You get to spend time with just about everybody in the company, and that's something that you don't really get to do in other internships. It's by far the coolest internship I've ever heard of. The most challenging part was my project. Because it's something that Baillie actually needs to be done, it actually is a valued part of the internship and part of the company. You want to put all of your energy into it. So that was the hardest part for me. I spent hours upon hours, pouring into this project. And it was challenging, but it was fun and it was rewarding when I actually got to present it in front of, the president of the company and a bunch of other people that it actually meant a lot to. So pouring all that time into it is very challenging, but very rewarding at the same time, like I said.
You understand and take in everything all at once because there's a lot of information that you'll be learning within a matter of weeks. And just kind of being able to grasp it all and see how it applies and fits in with each other and how you can use that information to become a better salesman. That was definitely the most challenging. I was very surprised by the lumber process and how long it takes to make just a log into a board of lumber. And I had no idea all the different drying and shipping and all those different issues that can come up while just cutting a piece of lumber. So that was the most surprising for me.
I think what surprised me the most about Baillie and the whole lumber industry is the entire process that it goes from, you have a hardwood table here, well, where did the wood come from? The entire process that goes into that is very, very complicated. It's very, there's a lot of hands that go into it and a lot of time and effort and money that's put into every single piece of wood that you see in front of you. And I think that's the part that surprised me the most is, you see a wooden door and that's awesome, but you have no clue where it came from or what the entire piece of lumber story is.